Hi guys, it's V, and I have a job that I have to tackle. I have a small tree that fell in my backyard that has a whole lot of limbs and branches attached to it that needs to be cut up. And it's been very difficult to try to cut the grass the last 2 years around the tree. So, as much as I don't like having to do this kind of work, it must be done. Come cut down a tree with me. Well, the tree's already down, but I've got to cut it up. In the summertime, these leaves are going to fill in, and this tree will be full of spiders, and then we won't be able to get to this part of the yard, and it'll be difficult to cut the grass. So the best time to cut up a tree is in the wintertime when all the leaves are gone, and it'll be easier to cut, easier to see. There are hardly any kind of animals or varmints out because it's cold, and it's the best time to do it. So come with me as I try to get this whole tree here cut up. So I want to give you a little backstory about the tree. The tree actually fell 2 years ago, and when it originally fell, it was close to fall winter. Now, I thought that in the summertime that because it had fallen that there would not be any leaves or anything growing on the tree because I thought it would be dead at that point. But needless to say, in the springtime and the summer, the tree filled in again, so it was full. And it has fruit growing and intertwined in it. I have some friends, Bobby and Fredrina, and they actually came over last year, and I was talking about the fruit, and they were like, you know what, it's very difficult. You probably want to chop that up because it's just going to keep growing and it's going to get worse and worse over time. So try to get it cut up as soon as you can. Now, I wanted to take my time because in an earlier part of my life, I was in the military. And of course, most people have injuries. And I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to hurt myself. I wanted to take my time and make sure that I could do it right. I just didn't realize how difficult it would actually be. The reason it's so hard is because the tree is intertwined with muscadine vines. So the vines are coiled around the tree, and it's difficult to cut the branches with the saw because every time you think you get a branch cut, it's actually held on by a muscadine vine, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Can you see how difficult it actually is for me to try to even get in here? Look, the saw is even getting tangled in the vines. This was hard. It really was hard. It looks simple, but it wasn't. Okay, this is a muscadine vine. And the way that you can tell it's a muscadine vine is you see these little curly cues all on every branch. If you look carefully, that's how the muscadine spread out. And basically a muscadine vine can choke a tree and stop the tree from growing, so they have to be cut. I'm going to pause the video here and pick up once I got a little bit more of it cut because it's taking me a lot longer than I thought. So I've decided to go with a smaller saw. I'm dirty, but the smaller saw seems to be working a little bit better because I can grasp the limbs easier and it's cutting really quick. I realize that you can't see what I'm doing. My apologies. Turn the camera just a little bit. I re-angled the camera so that you can see exactly what I'm doing because I realized that the end of the tree wasn't visible. But this saw is working better. I wanted to come and show you what I meant about the muscadine vines. Here's a perfect example. So on this branch, the vine has completely wrapped in a circle around the branch, and you can't pull it off because it's strong. So any tree that has a muscadine vine attached to it, it will be difficult to cut down unless you have like a chainsaw or something, which I don't have. I have one, but it's electric and it won't reach back here. But yeah, so have to resort to using a saw. I want to show you how thick this one was. Long and tedious. I'm gonna pause again, change position, cut a few more branches, and then pick you back up when I've cut a lot more branches off. As y'all can see how it now looks outside, it's probably been over an hour and I've been just cutting. The muscadine vines were really, really bad. So now I really just have this big branch here that I want to cut. So I'm going to try to cut a portion of it. So this saw isn't working. The smaller saw seems to be doing a better job. I am out here sweating. Now, for those individuals that are 50 plus, I know you can remember the show Tarzan that used to come on television. And remember, Tarzan swung from a vine. He didn't swing from trees. He swung from vines. So that can tell you how strong a vine could actually be, that it could support the weight of a human. And so even though these muscadine vines look small, they were super, super strong. And they were so coiled around the tree, it just really made it hard. Now, if you see me now below my waist, that was all filled in with limbs and branches of the muscadine vines that were intertwined in the tree. So I've gotten a lot of that cleared, and now I'm working on trying to get the tree cut. Now, in a few seconds, you're going to see something that I captured that was pretty cool. You're going to see that the daylight is now changing to night. And watch. See how it got dark real quick? That is because the sun is setting. There it goes again. And it's just getting darker and darker. Oh. 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 Oh, finally. Look a little bit. Oh, thank you, goodness. Guys. And it's almost dark. So I'm going to try to show you guys what I've cut. And it's a lot. So here's basically what I've cut. The tree came out to here and it was full. So I've cut all of that. If you can see, all of that. That's an ant mound, huge. But I've cut a lot. Look, all these branches now. I've got to try to chop up. So here's the thing. When you're single, you have to do what you have to do. You have to try to maintain your home and your property as best you can. No, I did not want to be out here. Mosquitoes. I did not want to be out here
tonight doing this at all today after I got off from work, but I had to do what I had to do. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta deal with it. So because it's late and I am losing daylight, I am going to stop the video. I am going to, oh, mosquitoes are out. It's cold. I am going to try to get as many of these branches broken down as I can before it gets completely dark, and then head inside. So I know you can't see me because now it's dark. I've gotten everything up and it's hard to see, but it's pretty clean. And now I'm headed back inside the house. I'm so thankful that I took the time to take care of that situation because it would have been really bad this summer. So thankful that I had the strength and the energy to do it. Good night, all.